Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bilco number RPRS4SS-E. This is a 400-pound stainless steel, or I should say really non-ferrous. It's going to be used in non-ferrous applications like you would have in an aluminum sort of hatch. That spring inside of there is going to be steel, but the exposed lower and upper tubes are non-ferrous. Its ancillary hardware that will go along with it will certainly be non-ferrous as well. The bottom boot. For allowing the installation down at the bottom. The upper mounting brackets, those are stainless steel. One of each hand. How did they do that? Let's take a look here now. We had to pause that video and get the brackets straightened out. We had packaged this with two of the same hand. You do indeed get one of each hand of the brackets because they'll mount up to the lid. That yoke's going to go right between them. They will look somewhat like that. They'll be a little bit spread out, but that's how that installation is going to go. These are made of stainless steel. The weight of this shock is about 6.5 pounds, so it's quite heavy, or this lifting mechanism. So, let's see here now. The Bilco is a manufacturer of roof hatches and many other things. Terrazzo doors, sidewalk vault doors, a number of items. And they are very helpful when it comes to identifying parts that clients need to continue to get safe, useful operation out of the significant original investment in the roof hatch, let's say. The problem is we don't know where the 400-pound stainless shock is used because they don't publish a bill of materials with all of their units. And kind of, I'm not sure, I can understand why it's not published. That material, that information is based on engineering and testing, and I could certainly understand why they would want to keep that in-house, confidential, let's say. Having said that, they are able to help us determine what is used on a roof hatch when we can identify the roof hatch. They're also a custom manufacturer, so they have the ability to create lifting mechanisms and guide brackets and hold open assemblies and all of the other hardware to suit a properly engineered solution. So what I'm trying to say is because much of what they do is custom and engineered, there's not a list of those items that I can tell you where this will be used. They can use this in conjunction with other pieces to solve a particular engineering situation, problem, requirement for a specific customer's application. So the purpose of this video is to acknowledge the fact that I can't tell you where this is going to be used, but what I can tell you is everything dimensionally about this item, so hopefully it will help determine whether or not it's the right item for you. Do not order this unless you know it's the exact proper item. What the manufacturer does not get into is helping determine the hardware to use on unknown roof hatch type applications. Their materials manufactured and tested and engineered to be compatible with each other, but what they don't do is help us sell you, and understandably so, roof hatch equipment that's not been tested or engineered or determined to be accurate. So this video is to simply show you the RPRS4SS-E. This is a 400-pound lifting mechanism for a non-ferrous type of unit. This is going to ship as all of their shocks compressed, partially compressed. There is a large pin inside of here that is literally connected in place and can't be pulled out until you intend to pull it out. The installation of this is meant to be when you have the roof hatch open to about 30 degrees or so. You will then get all of this in place, bolted down securely, control the lid, and once you have control of the lid, you will pull that pin. Be mindful there's a very large, powerful, partially compressed spring inside of here, so you're probably going to want to have ample assistance when doing this. Maybe a couple of people holding the lid, maybe one person pulling the pin, things of that nature. But that's how these are installed. They used to have a compression tool that they would use to install it, but I think the problem was they realized shipping them pre-compressed was simply a smarter way, and really worked based on a conversation I had with a tech support rep at the manufacturer. The compression tool invited maybe a dangerous application where you are up a ladder, how many, 20 feet high or more or less, whatever, but you've got this tool that you're trying to compress a spring that's rated for 400 pounds. So the pre-compression is how they do that. As a result, what we're not able to tell you is what's the overall length when it's uncompressed. I don't know. What's the length when it's fully compressed? I don't know. I don't know how far this will go before it'll stop, nor I don't know how long this will open before the tubes will leave each other. So there's your outline in terms of installation. Here's some dimensional properties. Overall length, overall now, about 13 1/4. From the top of that bracket down to the bottom, about 13 1/4. The center line of that mounting point is really only going to take off about a 1/2 inch. So about 12 3/4 from that center point down to the bottom welded flat flange. Now I'm going to give you the outside dimension of the upper and lower tube. The upper tube is the larger one. The outside diameter of this upper tube is 2.258 inch, basically 2 1/4 inch. The OD of the lower, smaller tube is 2.06 inch, 2.06, so basically 2 inch. Okay. I find that the tube dimensions, while they're not totally unique in all instances, they will certainly help. I believe their 100 pound and their 180 pound have the same tube size. The spring is different, so the dimensional properties of the tubes themselves will only take us so far. So that's the dimensional review of this item. The boot that will mount on the sidewall, and if you're replacing a shock, you probably won't replace this unless you need to. Overall width about 2 5/8. You can see where the mounting points are from the edge. About 13/16 over to about 1 13/16. Overall height on the back, about 1 7/8, 1/2 inch to that first hole. Overall projection, about 2 1/2 inch. Your upper brackets, there's one of each hand. That's how these will come. The overall depth, about 3 inch, and you can see where those holes are located. Right at about 7/16 over to about 2 7/16. Overall width, about 1 1/2 inch. Overall height of the bracket, about 3 1/2 inch. After that, we're going to get some bolts. So, you're going to get just trying to lay out exactly what we're getting here. Okay. You're going to get a hex cap screw and a bolt. That's going to connect your two brackets together up to the yoke of the top tube. You'll get a nut and a bolt. You'll get a hex cap screw and a bolt to tie all this together. You're going to get 2 hex cap screws and 2 nylon washers, nylon lock nuts that can only be for the boot area itself. Here, you'll get 2 of these. Then finally, you'll get 4 of these. I forget the technical name for this hex cap screw, and it integrates a washer, but that would be for your top brackets, a total of 4 of those. That's what you're going to get. Now, finally, there is a horizontal line of navigation above this video, and that's what we call breadcrumbs, that will allow you to kind of filter through the subcategories of the roof hatch parts. You can literally click on Home, Roof Hatches, then Parts, and then from there you can drop down the menu to go to a subcategory, and then further refine your results from there. Okay. Now, how to know for sure what you're dealing with? Well, how to know for sure what you're dealing with is to, the best way. You have a roof hatch, not sure what you need, great. Take pictures of everything. Especially look for information on the side wall of the unit, a decal, and a serial number. The serial number is what we would need to be able to contact the factory and to obtain a bill of material or to determine what is the proper lifting mechanism for that specific unit. That is the surefire way of eliminating all guesswork. In absence of that, generally the photographs are very helpful and will certainly narrow it down tremendously. And usually the person that gets the photographs can contact an engineer at the factory who can say, yes, I'm familiar with that unit. It's probably 42 inches wide and it's probably 15 foot long. We know we would have used 8 lifting mechanisms. We would have used 6 of this size and 2 of this size, something like that. So while you're up on the roof, make sure you have your smartphone with you to capture all that data. Any questions on the Bilco RPRS4SS E 400-pound stainless lifting mechanism for roof scuttles or any other Bilco product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.